Hey guys, Mr. Jalapeno here with another episode of the Bondo Chronicles. And on today's project, we're going to be repairing this rough-looking baseboard by the stairs. The client had someone replace a few pieces of the flooring here on the stair landing. They had to remove the baseboard in order to install the new pieces of flooring. Unfortunately, when they reinstalled the baseboard, it ended up looking really bad. They also cut that landing tread a little short, so they caulked it, which made it look even worse. I told the client I could either replace the damaged baseboard or patch it up. They told me just to patch it up, that way I don't have to spend more time locating this type of baseboard. I told them I could patch it up, but the only thing I won't be able to patch is that landing tread that was cut too short. They're getting ready to rent the house, so they just asked me if I could make it look as good as possible, and I said, yeah, no worries. So as you saw earlier, I was removing all the excess caulking that the flooring guys applied. I'm gonna be applying Bondo in that area, so I just want a nice clean surface to work on. I also used my brad nailer to resecure that baseboard to the wall, and then I just sanded everything down with 120 grit sanding paper. After that, it is now the star of the show, Mr. Bondo. One thing about this Bondo is that it does have a potent smell, so just be aware of that. All you have to do is just add a little bit of that cream hardener and mix it up really good. What that's going to do is that it's just going to make it sandable in 15 minutes. That way you don't have to wait hours and hours for this stuff to dry compared to like wood putty. The guy who did the flooring had the try your best and caulk the rest mentality, which I mean sometimes it works, but for this area it required a little bit of Bondo. So after you apply the first coat of Bondo, let it set for 15 minutes before you apply the second coat. I always recommend to do thin coats, that way it's not going to be bumpy and you're not going to be sanding there forever. If you're finding any value in this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. But anyways, once I was done with the second coat, I let it dry for another 15 minutes and then I went ahead and sanded it down with 220 grit sanding paper. But before I started painting, I did notice that there was a crack between the baseboard and the stringer. And no, the bottom piece is not a skirt board, it's actually a stringer. It's called a closed stringer. It's just routed to support the treads. Okay, back to the repair. As you can see, I'm using my utility blade to remove the old caulking that was there. And what that's going to do is that it's going to help this extreme stretch caulk adhere better. I always recommend to use this specific caulk for these areas where there's a lot of movement. I also like to use it on the kitchen cabinets where the crown molding meets the ceiling. It has a total stretch of 600%, whatever that means. And as you saw, I just apply it and use my fingers to remove the excess. You can also just get those caulking tools they sell to remove the excess, that way you don't have to use your finger. It's also good to always have a wet rag or a wet sponge on you, that way you don't make a mess. And after all that, it is now time to prime and paint. If you want to get any of the tools or materials that I used in the video, you could go to Home Depot. Or if you just want to get them delivered to your house, you could get them in my Amazon storefront. They are affiliate links, so if you want to help out the channel, you could get them there at no extra cost to you. At the end of the day, my clients were super happy with how this turned out. What do you think? Do you like how I repaired it, or would you have done something different? Let me know in the comments. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Jalapeno Solutions. Boom!